I really can't contain my smile because this moment, me making this video, is something I have always imagined while I was preparing for this exam I want to talk about today. I've always imagined myself sitting in the front of camera telling you I passed the exam, and now the moment I've always imagined is now my reality. I'm sitting right here talking to you and telling you that I passed my part 2 MBBS examination. I'm really grateful to God for making this possible. So I'm making this video to share the experience preparing for the exam and what the exam is about and stuff, but more importantly, I'm sharing this video to share some lessons that I learned preparing for this exam, especially for someone, I believe someone that is going to be writing part 1 and part 2 MBBS exam in the future is going to find some of those tips really valuable. I believe anybody at all preparing for any exam could also find it as well valuable. If you are just new to the channel, I'm Wealth. I'm a 50th medical student of the University of Ibadan, and this video is going to be in like 3 parts. So the first part is going to be me talking about this exam I've just written, then I'm going to talk about the process of preparation, and finally lessons for somebody that is going to be writing this sort of exam in the future. So if you want to get the more accurate depiction of how the preparation was like, I made a vlog which I'm going to link somewhere in this video. First thing, the exam. The exam I just written is part 2 MBBS examination. In medical school, if you're studying medicine and surgery, you get to write 4 professional examinations. We have MB 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is the second one, which is pathology and pharmacology. So pathology is, in simple terms, pathology is just the study of disease. Pharmacology is the study of drugs. It's like the fundamental part of medicine, something you have to know. It is actually really bulky. You know, before my exam, I promised myself that besides just passing and passing very well the exam, I really want to learn these things, because knowing these things is going to actually help you in the long run. Besides helping you become a good doctor, it will actually help other postings in the future to be easier, because we're going to be doing other postings, like we're going back to medicine, surgery, pediatrics, O&G. All those postings, they actually need the knowledge of pathology and pharmacology. So I decided, I was going to actually start early and stay consistent and put in my best in preparing for the exam. So the posting lasted about 3 months, and we learned a great deal of things. And during the posting, like I've said in the vlog, we would go to school 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. in the morning. We will get back 5 p.m. We're going to be bombarded a lot of study material each day. That it was quite hard to finish each day material. That when the test was getting closer, I realized that, guy, you have plenty backlog of materials. And at a point, I just totally stopped everything else I was doing to just focus on the exam. Besides the fact that you need to understand a lot of concepts in pharmacology and pathology, you need to memorize a lot of things too. So let's talk about the process of preparing for the exam. I actually started preparing for the exam from the beginning of the posting. So from the beginning of the posting, I know that I'm not a natural genius. The truth is that even if you are a genius and you do not read for this exam, there's a very good chance you're going to fail it. It's too bulky to not actually read. There's a lot of stuff. And for someone that is not a genius, I don't consider myself to be, I needed to actually start from the beginning of the posting. But the rate at which I was preparing, or I was studying at the beginning of the posting, was nothing compared to how I started studying when the exam was closed. During the posting, I would go to class. I tried to attend as many classes as possible, listen in class, attend practicals. Yes, attending practicals were really helpful, because closer to the exam, I didn't have to do plenty of work because I had been doing them before the exam got closed. But when the exam got closed, I was studying a lot. I was actually studying a lot. There were times I would sleep just 3 hours, 4 hours at night. I wish I didn't have to do that, but I had to at the time, and my body just knew that, okay, this is time to sleep way less. And at the time, I actually stopped doing so many other things. I stopped posting videos on YouTube. I stopped doing the other things I would do. And other part of preparing for the exam was me doing it with friends, discuss stuff with friends, teach friends, and get taught stuff. All those parts are the part that actually make this exam memorable. Let's talk about our lessons and advice I'm going to give to somebody who is preparing or who is going to be writing this sort of exam or any exam whatsoever. So first point is that in medical school, intelligence is not just enough. You actually need to sit down and work. You actually need to sit down to study. Intelligence can get you just far. Another tip is to not do it in isolation. You should have people that help people and also get helped. I personally am a person that study by myself, but I still ensure to involve people. I try to help as many people as possible. In the process of helping people, I'm also helping myself. And whenever I need help, it is very easy to get help. I think I should stop here, but really, if you're in medical school, so you're probably are going to know what I'm talking about more. That isolation, it is not good for anybody. Please don't study in isolation. Have a group, a small group to say the least, or join a tutorial, or have a friend at least that you can study with, you can share stuff with, because the thing is just too much that you might not be able to cover all of it. The next thing is be smart enough to notice patterns. Like I've said before, intelligence is not enough. Notice pattern in the sense that the syllabus is so large and you are not expected, you're expected to know a lot of things, but you're not going to be tested on all of the things. That's the truth. And it takes you seeing the pattern, it takes you seeing how it is done in your school to know that there are some things I should prioritize more than other things. Like there are some things that the tendency of them asking you is much higher. There are some things that if you don't know them, it is a sin. Like they're going to question that how will a 400 or 500 level medical student not know this? All those things are things you should actually know. So it takes some level of smartness and paying attention to the pattern to do this, because one could actually be reading highfalutin stuff that will most likely not be tested and leave the basic stuff that are going to be tested. So how do you notice this pattern? If you go to class, look at the past questions. They might not repeat past questions, probably will not, but the questions are going to be set in similar ways. Second thing is that you are going to have more than one exam, in the sense that you're going to be doing tests before your actual exam. We did a couple of tests, so these tests will kind of give you a clue of how the exam is going to be like. So if you did not do very well on your first test, that's another chance for you to sit up for the subsequent test. And the process of preparing for the test will help you say that, this is what I should actually pay more attention to. And also talking to seniors in your school can actually also help you. They've been through it, they've been there, done that, so they know, this is what you need to do and this is what you need to do less of. But sometimes things change. That's why you should be actually very, very attentive and sensitive. So it is not just about hard work or intelligence, you have to also be smart. And the next tip is that don't do what's not working for you. You see, we've spent quite a number of years in medical school, and I believe people should be learning about themselves and also how to improve themselves. When I was going to enter my 200 level, 200 level is medicine proper. That was when I actually took interest in learning how to learn, and honestly it's been one of the best decisions I've made, because it makes life significantly better and easier for me in school. I know this is things that work for me, this is how I memorize. I know that I'm not so good at cramming or memorizing stuff, but I need to learn to do it. I need to memorize stuff nonetheless, regardless of my ability. Then I've learned how to do it. I've kind of figured out ways to actually make myself learn these things. So when the exam is coming, it is not really time for you to be doing things that don't work. That's why you should have paid enough attention to yourself to know what actually works for you. So whatever level you are now, please take time to pay attention to your own reading or learning style and try to improve on it. Be making more videos on learning how to learn. I've been making some. I'll keep making it because it's something I'm genuinely interested in. The last piece is to involve God in everything you do. It just helps you with that sanity and peace of mind that I've worked hard and I've prayed. Then why should I be afraid? It gave me the confidence I needed for the exam. I'm coming out victorious and I'm very grateful to God. I give the glory back to God. I'm not taking it to myself. So now, having said all this, what is next on the channel? I always wish I was doing way more than I've been able to do on this channel, to be honest. But I just have to also come to terms with the fact that I'm a medical student. I have limited ability to make stuff happen. So what is next? I'm trying to make this channel actually much better. At least I want to be releasing one video every 2 weeks. I hope I'll be able to do that. The goal is to release one at least a week, but if I can't, I'm going to release one every 2 weeks. Besides the YouTube channel, I have an online tutorial which I'm also very passionate about. Last year, I'm not really proud of how it ran. It was probably will not talk much about it now, but I'm still trying to figure out how to make it work, and I believe it will work. God is going to help me make it work. Yeah, and generally I'm still just figuring out this life stuff. You know, we're getting into adulthood, and yeah. Anyways, this video has ended up becoming a rambly, not so organized video like I planned it to be, but I hope you still, if you're watching it to this point, that means it was quite interesting nonetheless. And or you just said, let me pity this guy and watch his video till the end. Either way, I appreciate you very much for sticking till the end, and thank you for watching. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye. I don't know what I just did. Anyways, bye bye.